America was the first nation to practice a sport that we now call baseball, and it has grown to become an American pastime. When people think of baseball, they think of America. This is a sport that as an American you would have probably at least played once or have seen it played before. This sport goes back a long time, but America is given the credit for nationalizing the sport and building leagues for all ages. New York City is given a lot of credit for the growth of baseball throughout our country. New York was a vastly growing city, and many young children grew up playing baseball throughout the streets. It's what the neighborhood kids did back then. It was a sport of camaraderie, competition, sportsmanship, friendship, rivalry, and many other of the American traits that we all know today. It helped mold young men in some hard times. Baseball quickly spread throughout the United States. It was something that began to be a young American tradition. It's what kids would do on their free time. It was rather cheap to play back then and easy to get. Many kids would just find a strong stick and get any ball, and they had the necessities for baseball. Soon, with the American ignorance of competition, games and leagues began to sprout up. When the major leagues were first introduced, they were segregated much like our society was. This picture is one of a professional Negro League team. The white leagues would not let African Americans play in their league because they believed they were better than the blacks. This is a picture of Jackie Robinson. He was the first African American to prove and to get the chance to show he was good enough to play in the white major leagues. Turned out to be one of the best players to ever live, and he encouraged many other black men to try and make it into the big leagues. This is another picture of Jackie Robinson signing the first contract ever made for an African American to play in the white major leagues, and it was for the Brooklyn Dodgers at that time. This event is what opened the gates for all African Americans to get the chance to join the major leagues. This is a picture of Babe Ruth, who was a great baseball player during his time. People in our country grew to love the sport, and it gave them something to do by going to watch the greats like Babe play. The popularity of baseball grew so rapidly throughout the United States that it was even starting to spread throughout the whole world. Our men in our army loved the game so much they would teach the kids near their base locations how to play the sport. Baseball has grown so much over time that people of all ages play. It starts at a very young age and continues to gain interest every day. The level of competition is growing tremendously, and there are professionals from all over the world. This is a picture of a kid in Little League who is between the ages of 9 and 12. Kids love the sport, and it becomes part of everyday life to many American children these days. Baseball has become an American tradition, and it is often handed down from generation to generation. Many dads dream of someday teaching their kids to play ball. It has helped our country through some tough times by giving people a way out. It gives them a way to get away from their everyday lives and gives them something to take their mind off things.